Hey everyone, for those of you that don't know us, my name is David.
And I'm Ro.
And we are full-time RVers that travel the country, and we do a Q&A video regarding our RV lives, or just any random question that you guys may have for us a few times a year. And we have asked our patrons on Patreon, as well as our Facebook followers, and we also made a post on YouTube so that we can answer all of your guys' questions. But we are going to start by answering our patrons' questions first. And the first question is...
First question is from Lynette, and she asks, will camping at Disney World ever be an option for you all? I'm a huge Disney fan and would love to see a video of your experience at Fort Wilderness. And I'm sorry, Lynette, but that is not something that we ever plan on doing. While I'm a massive Disney fan, I love Disney movies, I love going to the different Disney parks, taking our RV there does not sound like a wonderful idea. We'd have to be in an RV park, you know, lots of people around. Plus, Disney World, there are big crowds, and we're not really big crowd people. And David's not a big fan of Disney stuff, so...
Or theme parks in general,
yeah,
if I'm being completely honest.
And I do want to visit Disney World again, because I haven't visited since I was a teenager, I think. But it probably would not be with my husband. I wouldn't put him through that, because I know he wouldn't really enjoy it. Lynette also asked another question. She says, are you both Harry Potter fans? And if so, what Hogwarts houses are you in? We are both Harry Potter fans.
I did enjoy the movies.
Yeah, and I read some of the books. Not all of them, though. And I know my Hogwarts house, but David has not taken any of those tests or anything. I don't really think he cares about that.
I didn't like the movies that much.
Yeah, not
I did enjoy them, though.
But I am, according to the test, Hufflepuff, so if that matters at all.
Our next question comes from Franklin G, and he asks, at any time during your travels over the last 3 years, has anyone approached you and asked to bum for money? And yes, it has happened a couple times at gas stations. Thankfully, though, it hasn't happened very often. And we've also had people ask for rides. But, you know, we have... Our truck is completely full on travel days.
There's no room.
Yeah, with all of our pets into the truck. So we had to refuse them on that ride.
Next question is from Rily Cook, and she asks, what is your favorite hike you have ever been on? And that's actually really easy to answer. Our favorite ever hike, I believe we have the same one. I do have a second favorite, though, that I want to talk about. But our favorite one is in Arches National Park in Moab, Utah, and it's called Double O Arch.
It's Devil's Canyon to Double O Arch.
Yeah, Devil's Canyon to Double O Arch. I believe it was 2 miles in and 2 miles back, so it was a 4-mile hike.
Something like that, yeah.
And you just walked on top of these awesome fins, and like it was a pretty wilderness type trail where because it was all on rock, there wasn't a super clear trail, so you had to follow, what are those called? What are those called?
The rock piles.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, why can't I remember this? Cairns, yeah.
Yeah, you had to follow the cairns, and some of them were kind of far away, so they were a little hard to spot. So getting there and coming back was part of the journey.
It was so epic because you start at ground level, obviously, but after about a half mile, you ascend up one of these narrow sandstone fins, and you go up pretty high, and once you're at the top of the fin, when you look backwards, you can see the LaSalle Mountains. Like, the whole mountain range is just like, well, blam, right there. And then as you walk along the sandstone fin, you can see all these parallel fins, you know, I don't know. It's just an awesome, awesome hike.
Beautiful. But my second favorite hike was a hike that we did in the Superstition Wilderness in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh yeah, that was a really cool hike too.
I don't remember what the hike was called. It was near like Boxer Canyon or Box Canyon or...
It was near Box Canyon, but that was not the name of the hike.
Yeah, I don't remember what the name of the hike was, but it was so epic.
We'll put the name right here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
In the Superstition Wilderness near Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Our next question comes from Justin D, and he asks, what's your next steps with traveling and coronavirus? And we are going to be staying with my parents here through New Year's until about the second week of January, and that's just because we have a lot of doctor's appointments set up. Both Ro and I have doctor's appointments, and the reason we're waiting until the first of the year is because our insurance switches, and
we're not entirely sure how many doctor's appointments in total we're going to have, and if we're going to be able to get out of here right when we want to, but hopefully no later than the very end of January.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
But we've stacked up all of our appointments intentionally because of that, and so hopefully they're finished by about the second week of January, and oh, see you, Butters. She was like, I'm done. And when that happens, we are headed southwest immediately. We are getting our butts into the warm and dry climates of Arizona.
I'm so tired of the cold.
ASAP, yeah. Oh man, I used to not be bothered by the winter very much. You know, because I was born and raised here in Northeast Indiana.
We've been a little spoiled.
Oh, I hate it now. I absolutely hate it. Because we're just stuck inside. You're just cooped up. I just so badly want to go on a walk, you know, a nice long walk in nice sunny weather. And I'm just so fed up with the winter already.
We've got icicles on our RV. Like,
yeah. We're both dying for the warm, dry weather in Arizona. So yeah, as soon as we're finished with our doctor's appointments, we are hooking up, getting the hell out of here.
Right into the middle of nowhere where it's warm and dry.
And we're hauling out there. We are just driving, like, I mean, not straight. We're going to stop, but we're not going to waste much time. It's going to be like 12-hour driving days. It'll take us about 3 days, 3 to 4 days.
3 to 4 days,
yeah. But that's the plan.
Our next question comes from Dawn D, and she asks, besides some of the hiking that you do, what other exercises do you two do to stay in shape and healthy? And I hate to break it to you, not much.
Zero? Nada?
No?
Nil?
We've been trying to get into some daily exercises. We call them, right now it's 6, 6, and 6.
I just do 10.
He's been doing 10 anyway.
It's 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and 10 squats. So it's just like body weight exercises.
Just to help tone.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, just to like try and and the reason we're doing it is like because we're just cooped up right now. We're not really doing anything, and it's like we need to move. We still need to move our bodies because. Okay, so I guess it's not entirely true. When we're out at on site, we go on walks all the time, and I go outside and I play with Sweetie, and so I'm moving around while she's running around and stuff. So I guess we do get like a little bit of exercise there just by going, and we go on like long walks. So we'll go on like an hour-long walk,
and sometimes more than one a day.
Yeah. So sweet girl, come on, get up here. Bruh. So this is our source of exercise, honestly, right here when we're on site. Nice long walks with the pup. Because, oh, yes, I love you too. I woke her up, so she's like, man, why did you wake me up, Dad? I'm tired.
Those tired eyes.
But yeah, really, we don't really do much, and we really should do more. Mm-hmm. Especially when we get right back out on the road, because we have to get back in shape for hikes.
I know,
That's gonna be rough.
We used to be able to do, when we stayed at Arches National Park a couple years ago, or right near, I think we were doing 7-mile hikes.
We were hiking all the time,
constantly.
8 miles about the longest we've done.
Yeah, and
not right now.
If we were going out hiking right now, even if it was warm, and David said, yeah, it's an 8-mile hike, I'd be like, oh, well, then I'm not going.
We're sore for days.
No. No way. I'd give up halfway through and turn around. Oh, man, I couldn't. Nope.
Our next question comes from 10A Marie. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. But they asked, do you have thoughts on different RVs you would like to have? And if so, what are they? And, you know, we kind of fantasize about different types of RVs, but what it always comes back to is that what we currently have probably is the best fit for us. We really do like our travel trailer. It's like the perfect, at least for our style of traveling, it's like the perfect blend of living space, flexibility, storage, and cost. You know, we have a lot of water storage in this thing too. It's fairly lightweight. We have a lot of cargo.
It makes it so that we have a vehicle that we can take with
Yes.
us places and leave our home behind to
Yeah.
hold the camp spot. Because as many of you know, we go boondocking and those spots are first come, first serve. If it's empty, it's open. And so if we had like a Class B or a van, which is what we fantasize about typically, is
be vacating the spot.
yeah, every single time we had to go anywhere and wanted to go anywhere, even just to go to the grocery store, we run the risk of losing that spot. So.
But of all the it's just big stretch, yeah. Of all the space or of all the RV types though that I think I would love to try, Class B Sprinter van is the one. But man, are they expensive, and it's just it's unrealistic for our current situation because we got this thing, and we got that thing. And another one of those.
There's another one right here.
And then the rabbits. So like we just don't have enough room, or there's not enough room in a Class B for us right now. If it was just Ro and I though, I probably would be pushing pretty hard for a Class B.
There's actually a good chance that if it was just the two of us and none of our pets, when we first hit the road, we may have actually just bought a Class B to begin with.
A lifted 4x4 diesel Sprinter van would just be awesome. We'd be able to get anywhere in one of them things.
Next question is from Rick S, and he says, besides letting the propane run out or lifting up the tank to see how much it weighs, how do you know you need to refill? Are you using any of the propane meters, and is there one you can recommend?
So, we don't use any propane meters or any gauges. We did have a couple of propane gauges on there originally, but they were pretty cheap. They just stopped working, and so I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna have a gauge like this anymore. And it's what we do is pretty simple. We have 2 propane tanks with a regulator in between them, and we know about how long our tanks will last. And so when that time approaches, I just go outside and I look at the regulator, and it has a little what would you call that? A sight lens, I guess. And what happens when one tank runs out, it's got a little like switch that like flips the primary tank. And so like, let's say I've got the switch flipped over to this tank as the primary tank. When this tank runs out, the regulator will then begin to pull from the secondary tank, but that sight lens, it will lift up a little red, like a red flag in front of that. And so when, about like 2 weeks has gone by, which
3
is
weeks now with our 30-pound tanks.
2.5. Yeah, 2.5. When about 2 or 2.5 weeks has gone by, I'll go outside and I'll just lift the thing up and I'll look at that regulator. And if that sight lens is red, then I know the one tank is empty and I need to refill it. And if it's not, then I know it. Okay, you get out of here. Oh, no, don't hit the camera. Get out of here, pup. I know that one tank needs to be refilled.
So this is actually a question that so many of you have asked when we asked for questions for this Q&A video. So we're just going to answer it all in one, and it is between, some people asked, what other YouTube channels do we watch? And other people asked, what other RV bloggers or RV channels do we watch? And I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
We don't watch any other RVing channels. We used to when we were newer, and we were still getting used to things, but now that we're fully used to things and we're, doing our own thing and we know everything about our RV, there's not much for us to learn from those other RVing channels, so we don't typically watch them, but we do watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, especially you. Especially
me. And some of my favorites, at least right now, some of my favorites are cartoons, and Delirious H2O, and another girl named Sherpa. All 3 of them are actually also Twitch streamers, so I've been watching them on both platforms. But they're all about video games. So I watch a lot of video game related YouTube stuff, and
that's basically all I watch on YouTube. If I'm watching a YouTube video, it's going to be game related, and I watch Wellen, Brit, and then on Twitch I like to watch Plushies and Ash, and that's that's it.
Sorry guys. Our next question is from Broken Dreams Reborn, and they have asked, we would like to know what y'all currently use to get internet when you're on the road. And
what we currently use
is we have a hotspot like this. This one's a Verizon Jetpack. It works pretty well. We've had this one since we hit the road.
It's old.
It's old. We bought this new, but we really like it. It still works really well. And each of our phones can also be a hotspot. We have 15 gigabytes here available, 15 gigabytes here available, and 15 gigabytes here available.
Yeah, and these all cost us about $20 a month, between 20 and 25. And yeah, so we have 45 gigabytes of hotspot data total on Verizon. But we are now streaming on Twitch, and so we need a lot more data if we're going to continue doing this on the road. And so we signed up for a business hotspot plan with AT&T, and this is a Netgear Nighthawk wireless router. It connects to the cellular network just like our Verizon hotspot does, but with this thing we have 175 gigabytes of 5G data. So 175 gigabytes before we get deprioritized, and that should be enough for us, hopefully. But the unfortunate thing about this is that you have to own a business to be able to get a business plan like this. So we understand that, this option isn't going to work for very many people at all, unfortunately. So, but that's fine. I mean, if you don't need an insane amount of data, then a regular hotspot plan through Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, any of the major carriers will work great for you. I mean, 15 gigabytes, as long as you're not streaming, like videos, it's actually kind of a lot of data.
Yeah, if you're not using this to watch YouTube videos or whatever, then that's fine. Because if I want to watch YouTube videos, I don't turn my hotspot on and connect my phone to the hotspot to watch YouTube videos. I just watch them over the regular cellular network because we have unlimited regular data on our phones. Yeah,
truly unlimited data if we're just watching it on our phones. We're only capped if we are using it through the hotspot on our computers.
Next question is from Lisa J, and she asks, Jenny, why did you change your name and why? And just so you know, I don't go by Jenny anymore. I go by Ro. And the reason is because Ro is my middle name, and I am not a fan of my first name. I haven't been a fan of my first name for a very long time, and with everybody else I know, I've gone by Ro. And when we first started our YouTube channel, I wasn't yet going by Ro, and we thought it was kind of weird at first to just switch over. But once it got really weird when we would film a video and I'd introduce myself by my first name, we were just like, I'm done with this. Nope. Don't want to go by that anymore.
And I mean, you guys are like friends and family anyway, so it just felt weird having everyone else in our lives be calling her Ro, but not you guys. So it was like, we need to let them in on this. So that's why.
Yeah. And to clarify, it is spelled R-O-E. I know a lot of people get that wrong, and that's okay, because it sounds the same, but yeah.
Our next question comes from Nathan N, and he says, so I just bought a new trailer. We live in Washington, and we're going the first week of January to Michigan. Do you know of any places that might be open to park and sleep in a trailer? Now, if you're asking about RV parks, we can't really help there, but what we do when we are on long hauls like that is we'll just overnight at Walmarts, but if we can avoid it, because Walmarts are pretty loud, because most of them are open 24 hours a day.
And if they're not, they'll have them come, oftentimes street sweepers come every night for the ones that aren't open 24/7, and it's really loud.
Yeah, so it's a lot better. We've found you'll get a better night's sleep at a Cracker Barrel, Cabela's, or Bass Pro Shops. These are all businesses that are typically okay with overnight RV parking. Just be sure to, look up the location ahead of time, like on Google Maps. Get the phone number and call customer service just to make sure that they do still allow overnight RV parking.
Now this video is already getting pretty long, so this is going to be the last question. I know that we have missed a lot of questions. We've gotten, man, I don't even know, like almost 50 questions from you guys, and I wish that we could answer them all, but obviously we're not going to be able to. So, if you guys don't know, we go live once a month on normally the second Monday, but this month it was moved back to the 28th. So by the time this video comes out, it will already have passed, but stay tuned for January's live stream, because we will answer as many questions as we can on that one. So last question is from K. McNaughton? I hope I pronounced that right. And they asked, what do you folks enjoy for hobbies? Reading, watching movies, puzzles, and we actually love playing video games. And I know that a lot of you aren't into video games, and that's totally fine. We really like video games because we typically play together, and so it's a great activity that, you know, we're really engaged with each other, and it's a lot of fun, and, you know, we play right here typically, and we've actually gotten into streaming, and this video is going out on a Thursday, and I'm telling you guys, when you're done watching this video, head on over to David's Twitch channel. It is twitch.tv/nowhere. There's a link down in the description below, so you don't have to worry about spelling it correctly or anything. Head on over, give him a follow so that you know when he goes live. Yeah, and just hang out with him.
Yeah, we started streaming on Twitch, and we actually do it quite often. Both of us we stream about 4 days a week, and so if, you know, the live streams on YouTube aren't enough for you guys, and you want to hang out with us more, you want to spend more time with us in a totally different setting, then yeah, come on over to our Twitch channels. Ro told you about mine, and like she said, if you're watching this video the day it went out, I'm live streaming right now, so come hang out with me. Ro also has a Twitch channel. It is twitch.tv/ronut, and again, there will be a link in the description below, so you can follow her channel too and hang out with her as well.
Oh, actually, I think that both of us are going to be live after this video goes out. David's going to be...
It is the first day of Wipe.
It is.
We're both going to be on. We are both streaming right now.
You're only
come
gonna
hang out with us.
You're only going to be able to see his face, but I will be there with him, playing with him. So yeah. It's actually really exciting.
Yeah.
It's actually really exciting.
But that's it for this Q&A video. Thank you so much to everyone for throwing questions at us so that, you know, we could answer them for you. We know that a lot of you guys have questions about RV life and just our lives in general, so oh my gosh, I wish you guys could see what's going on. Alice is just spinning in a circle chasing her tail.
This is so cute.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yep, that's all for this video though. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Lucy popped up. She wants to say
sweetie.
bye.
Well, come here, sweetie. Come here. Come on. Sweetie, she was asleep on the bed, and she popped up when we said bye. Okay, pup.
Because she knows she gets to interact.
Come on. Oh, come here. Come on up here. Come on. Come on. Okay.
Hey, girl, can you
okay.
say bye? Can you say bye? Say bye.
Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl.